Good evening, traders. This is Taylor from thetradinganalyst.com. We're going to take a look at a few charts here, and we're going to go over some key levels, and I'm going to give my analysis and go over my thought process. But first, if you're not already a member, go ahead and visit the homepage of the website, www.thetradinganalyst.com, and you can get to know us a little bit better. If you scroll down here, you can get to know our services and what you'll receive once you sign up as a member. And if you scroll down a little bit further, you can see what our current members are saying about the membership. And if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you can choose either the monthly access or the lifetime access, whichever one suits your needs the best. All right, so let's get into these charts here. The first one I want to take a look at is Apple. And Apple provided a nice buy point down here near the 200-day moving average, as well as the retest of this downtrend line on the weekly basis right here. If you watched the last video we did on Apple, we pointed that out. As you can see, we get a nice, really nice bounce off of that level, especially in this market weakness. So a lot of people are going to talk about, well, that was news driven. Well, it was going to bounce off of there regardless of whether we had those news. Obviously, the news helped it bounce off of this more ferociously, but it really doesn't matter how long it takes and in what manner it does it. It just matters that it bounced, and this is a big example of how technicals really rule the trading world. So nice bounce off of that. Today we had a really high volume day. It was the third highest volume day of the entire year. And we broke over this key resistance here at about 109. So that's going to be this near-term support. As long as we hold over that, we're going to come up here to that next resistance level at about just below 120. About 118 to 120 is going to be that next resistance level that we see on Apple. All right, let's look at the next stock. It's going to be Netflix here. Now, Netflix has a constructive look overall. We broke over this downtrend line right here. And then, as you can see, we had this uptrend line right here, and we had this support. This support right here at about 97.15. But as you can see, we broke this little trend line, and we broke back below this support. Overall, still looks okay. But I really want it to break over the 200-day moving average, which is just above us, about just under $100 is where that 200-day moving average is. So as long as we're capped by that, we're going to find resistance by that. So want it to break over the 200-day moving average. If it does that, we can see a nice breakout on Netflix. Until then, looks like this may be a little bit of a failure. We still have support from this trend line that we broke over, so it could bounce from there. So kind of playing, support down here at this trend line and resistance up here at the 200-day moving average. Those are the levels that you need to be aware of for Netflix. All right, let's take a look at Twitter. And Twitter, we're holding above the 200-day moving average right here. You can see that we've bounced off of it here and as well as right here. And we've got this support. We were trading kind of sideways here between about $17.80 and about $14, and we broke outside of that range right here, tested it successfully once before, and now we're testing it again right here. I like it for as long as we can hold above about 17, let's call it 1750. As long as we hold above 1750, I like it for a long, and I think we're going to bounce here on Twitter. Next, let's take a look at GoPro. GoPro is hanging out right at its 200-day moving average, as well as right at this uptrend line. As you can see here, we're a little bit below the trend line. Yesterday was the first day that we closed below it, and then today we closed below it, but right at it. So we're kind of hanging out here. Not really enough for me to consider this really a broken level. If we break these lows at about 1260, then it's no longer going to be a long, in my opinion. not necessarily short, but just not a long if it breaks that 1260 mark. But if we hold here and we have another higher close, we could see a nice bounce. So kind of at a make or break level here for GoPro, and that's something that you definitely need to be aware of. Alright guys, thank you for watching as always. Again, if you're not already a member and you'd like to see what the membership is all about, go ahead and visit the website www.thetradinganalyst.com. Have a great night. See you next time.